In the news this week, shocking figures reveal the extent to which children are exposed to porn. Nicola Sturgeon denounces opponents to her plans for gender self-ID as racists. And a new poll shows that most palliative care doctors are against assisted suicide. Hello. A Conservative peer has urged the government to better protect children from pornography as the online safety bill is scrutinised in the House of Lords. Lord Bethell is seeking to force porn websites to start verifying the age of users within 6 months of the legislation becoming law. Ahead of the bill's second reading, he told peers, "You can't buy a knife online without saying your age, or cigarettes or alcohol. Age verification is already a tangible thing that's in existence." A new report from the Children's Commissioner's Office reveals that 1 in 10 kids have watched online pornography by the age of 9. Almost 4 in 10 of 16 to 21-year-olds said they accidentally discovered it online, and 41% said they had seen it on Twitter. Children's Commissioner for England, Dame Rachel de Souza, said, "I truly believe that we will look back in 20 years and be shocked by the content to which children were exposed." Nicola Sturgeon has branded those who uphold the reality of biological sex racists and anti-women. Speaking to the News Agents podcast, she hit out at critics of her blocked plans to allow 16-year-olds to self-declare legal sex without a medical diagnosis.
There are some people that I think have decided to use women's rights as a sort of cloak of acceptability to cover what is transphobia. Now, again, that's not everybody who opposes this bill. I want to be very clear about that. But there are people who have opposed this bill that cloak themselves in women's rights to make it acceptable. But just as they're transphobic, you will also find that they're deeply misogynist, often homophobic, possibly some of them racist as well.
Scottish Conservatives leader Douglas Ross said if you disagree with Nicola Sturgeon's policy that risks the safety of women and girls, she brands you homophobic, racist and transphobic. Utterly shameful language that shows just how far from public opinion she is. According to the New Statesman's Chris Deeran, the majority of Scottish Labour opposed the gender self-ID bill but were afraid to defy the party whip. When it was passed by Holyrood in December, 18 Scottish Labour MSPs voted in favour, with only 2, Carol Mochan and Claire Baker, against. A Christian MP has said transgender guidance for schools must prioritise the protection of children from the harms of radical gender ideology. Nick Fletcher said schools across the country are wrestling with the issue of gender identity, the idea that we all have an inner gender independent from our biological sex. He argued keeping children safe from harm is key, and the only approach compatible with safeguarding was one in which schools do not affirm or encourage passing identities and social trends. He also criticised some sex ed materials for pushing the scientifically illiterate idea that people can be born in the wrong body, and defended the right of children to single-sex facilities and sport. And finally, 95% of palliative care doctors in Scotland would not prescribe lethal drugs for an assisted suicide, a survey has revealed. The poll, conducted last year by the Association for Palliative Medicine of Great Britain and Ireland, also found that 3/4 of those who responded would refuse to participate in the assisted suicide process if it was legalised. More than 7 in 10 said they would consider resigning if their organisation implemented such a programme. Dr. Gillian Wright, director of campaign group Our Duty of Care, said the palliative care community has made a clear statement that assisted suicide should not be legalised. Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.